Not all of us can upgrade to the latest and greatest tech as soon as it comes out. Recently, I jumped from an iPhone 6s all the way up to an iPhone XR, and the change was huge. This is probably the most underrated phone out there right now, and if you're looking to buy one, well, this video is for you. Welcome to my iPhone XR review. First, let's talk about its design. Its design is the evolution of the iPhone 6, 7, and 8 series with the aluminum rails, the glass back, and the camera bump. The front of the phone features a different design with an all-screen display and a notch at the top. And when comparing that to the iPhone 6s, well, there really is no comparison at all. It's a huge change. This phone is a lot larger than the iPhone 6s, but it is smaller than the XS Max, so that's a plus point. The phone has a really good build, and I gotta say, the colors on this phone, man, Apple, you really nailed this one. The display is a 6.1-inch Liquid Retina LCD display, and trust me, this panel is brilliant. Although the bezels going around the phone are a little thick, it's really not a big deal. Even though the display is not 1080p, it's still a brilliant display. The screen gets nice and bright outdoors with excellent colors and great viewing angles. Watching movies and videos is a blast, and paired with the dual speakers, everything is awesome. Since the phone is quite large, people with small hands will probably find this as a two-handed phone. Since it's got a glass back and is kinda slippery, I'd suggest you slap a case on there or some other type of protection. Heads up, it's time we talk about the notch. The notch houses all the depth sensors, which makes Face ID unlocking possible. The phone won't unlock until you're actually paying attention to it. This means no unwanted unlocks. I don't really miss Touch ID anymore with Face ID being so fast and accurate. These sensors also bring to the table Memoji and Animoji, so you can create something that looks like this, like this, like this, or even like this. Most importantly, the sensors aid the front camera with portrait mode. The True Depth camera system captures an astounding amount of depth in order to create these portrait mode selfies. And the results speak for themselves. These are some really good images. With all this depth data, every portrait mode selfie is rendered almost perfectly. Overall, pictures from the front camera are great. I just wish that the lens was a little wider. Even video from the front camera is spectacular. Now coming to the main shooter, it's a 12 megapixel iSight camera with an aperture of f1.8. And honestly, I don't think I've seen photos coming from a phone look this beautiful. Although the images coming out of it are a little bit on the warmer side, Smart HDR, the wider aperture, and the deeper pixels make for amazing pictures. The real key here is Apple's Smart HDR. Basically, with the super smart HDR that's on all the time, it's available both during photo and during video. Unlike most other smartphones today, this phone does portrait mode with only a single camera. But don't let that put you down. This phone takes some of the best portrait mode photos that I've seen. The bokeh and the lens blur are rendered beautifully. By default, you can't take portrait mode photos of objects or animals. That's where Halide saves the day, allowing you to take both portrait mode photos of animals and of objects. Even without portrait mode, the wide open aperture allows for a shallow depth of field. That's just... Overall, photos taken with the back camera are stunning, and Smart HDR does a brilliant job at retaining the dynamic range. Performance with this phone is fantastic. The A12 Bionic proves its worth here with everything being super smooth and super fast. Even gaming with this phone is lag-free and smooth. My favorite game right now is Sky, and it looks beautiful on the XR. I think it'll be a good few years till we see this phone start to slow down. Now let's talk about battery life. The battery life on this phone has been really impressive, lasting me well over a day of use, which is way better than the 6S already. The gesture system that replaces the home button has a learning curve, but it's worth it. Everything feels smooth and snappy. Extra features like the fast storage, True Tone display, wireless charging, IP67 water resistance really make this phone worth what it is. So with the latest iPhones just around the corner, is it worth it to drop money for the iPhone XR? Well, if you're in a hurry and you really don't mind, well, I'd say this is worth it. Regardless of this though, this phone won't disappoint. It's a 10 on 10. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Without your support, this wouldn't have been possible. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button and consider subscribing to the channel to check out all my future content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.